What if I told you that there's a food sitting in your kitchen right now that's feeding cancer cells? A food so common that 95% of Americans eat it every single day? Dr. Chen, one of the world's leading oncologists, just released shocking research that will change how you think about your next meal. She discovered that this everyday food doesn't just increase your cancer risk, it actually makes existing cancer grow faster and spread more aggressively. But here's what's truly terrifying. Most people have no idea they're consuming it. Food companies hide it behind 56 different names. It's in foods labeled healthy, natural, even organic. Your morning granola bar, loaded with it. That heart-healthy whole wheat bread, it's there too. Even your salad dressing is secretly feeding cancer cells. The scary part? It's probably in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. Right now, as you're watching this video, this food could be coursing through your bloodstream, giving cancer cells exactly what they need to multiply. But here's the good news. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what this dangerous food is, why it's so harmful, and I'll give you 3 delicious alternatives that actually fight cancer instead of feeding it. I'll also share a simple 10-second test you can do at home to see if you're already addicted to this cancer-feeding substance. Trust me, this information could save your life. And wait until you hear about the 34-year-old marathon runner who thought he was the picture of health. His story will completely change how you view healthy foods forever. Dr. Chen isn't just any doctor. She spent 20 years studying cancer at Johns Hopkins Medical Center and has published over 150 research papers. When she speaks, the medical world listens. But what makes her research so groundbreaking isn't just her credentials, it's what she was willing to risk to get this information to the public. Her latest study followed 50,000 people across 12 countries for 15 years. What she found was terrifying. People who consumed this common food daily had a 73% higher chance of developing aggressive cancers. Even worse, those who already had cancer saw their tumors grow 40% faster and spread to new organs twice as quickly. But here's where it gets interesting and disturbing. The American Cancer Society tried to suppress this research for 2 years because it would cause panic and disrupt the food industry. Dr. Chen received pressure from pharmaceutical companies, food manufacturers, even her own colleagues. They offered her money to bury the findings. But Dr. Chen fought back. She said, "People deserve to know the truth about what they're putting in their bodies. I didn't become a doctor to protect corporate profits. I became one to save lives." When she finally published her findings, the backlash was swift. Food industry lawyers tried to discredit her work. Major medical journals initially refused to publish her follow-up studies. But Dr. Chen had something they couldn't argue with: irrefutable data from the largest cancer study ever conducted. Her research revealed something that will shock you. This food doesn't just feed cancer, it actually reprograms your cell's DNA, making them more susceptible to becoming cancerous in the first place. But what Dr. Chen discovered about how this food literally rewires your genetic code. That's coming up next, and it explains why some families seem destined for cancer while others don't. The food that's been silently fueling cancer in millions of people: processed sugar. Now, I know what you're thinking, but everyone says sugar is bad. Tell me something I don't know. Here's what they don't tell you, and this will blow your mind. Regular sugar is concerning, yes? But processed sugar, the kind in sodas, candy, baked goods, and even healthy foods like granola bars, sports drinks, and vitamin water, this is completely different. This is cancer's rocket fuel. Let me paint you a picture that will help you understand exactly what's happening inside your body right now. Imagine your bloodstream as a peaceful river. When you eat an apple, natural sugars flow gently downstream like a calm current. Your body can handle this, process it slowly, use it for energy. But when you drink a soda or eat a granola bar, it's like someone just blew up a dam upstream. A violent flood of processed sugar comes crashing through your system like a tsunami, and cancer cells line the riverbank like hungry piranhas, devouring everything in sight while your body struggles to regain control. Why is processed sugar everywhere? Because food companies discovered something terrifying. It's more addictive than cocaine. Yale University studies show that processed sugar activates the same brain pathways as heroin. They pump it into 74% of packaged foods because they know once you start eating it, you literally cannot stop. It's in your bread, your salad dressing, your pasta sauce. Even your sugar-free yogurt has hidden processed sugars with fancy names like evaporated cane juice and brown rice syrup. Here's the science made simple. But prepare yourself because this is disturbing. Cancer cells consume sugar 10 to 50 times faster than normal cells. When you eat processed sugar, your blood sugar spikes instantly. This triggers a massive insulin release. And here's the kicker. Insulin is like Miracle-Gro for cancer cells. High insulin doesn't just feed cancer. It tells cancer cells to multiply, spread, and become more aggressive. Now let me tell you about Jake Thompson. And this story is going to completely change how you think about healthy people getting cancer. Jake was a 34-year-old marathon runner from Denver. Picture perfect health. 6% body fat, ran 50 miles a week, ate organic everything, never smoked, barely drank alcohol. His Instagram was filled with pictures of green smoothies and medal photos from races. Jake had one weakness: energy drinks. 3 Monster Energy drinks every day to fuel his training. It's just caffeine and vitamins, he told himself. I'm burning it all off anyway. He even chose the zero sugar versions, thinking he was being healthy. At 34 years old, during a routine physical for a new life insurance policy, Jake was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Stage 3. The most aggressive form. His doctor was completely baffled. I've never seen a healthier patient develop this kind of cancer, his oncologist told him. There must be some family history we're missing, but there wasn't. Jake's family had no history of cancer, no genetic predisposition, no environmental factors. So what happened? That's when Jake found Dr. Chen's research, and what he discovered will shock you. Those zero-sugar energy drinks, they contained artificial sweeteners that were even worse than regular sugar. But the regular Monster Energy drinks Jake occasionally had contained 54 grams of processed sugar each. Jake was consuming up to 162 grams of processed sugar daily. That's 6 times the maximum safe limit. For 3 years, he had unknowingly been feeding potential cancer cells in his pancreas every single day. But here's the part that will really disturb you. Jake's cancer wasn't just growing, it was learning. Dr. Chen's research shows that cancer cells exposed to high levels of processed sugar actually become smarter, more aggressive, and better at hiding from the immune system. They develop resistance to chemotherapy faster. They spread to new organs more efficiently. Jake had essentially been training his cancer cells to become supercancers. But Jake's story gets even more unexpected, and his discovery about timing could save your life. Plus, I'm about to reveal the disturbing truth about what processed sugar does to your body's natural defense system, and why some people seem immune to cancer while others aren't. The answer lies in something happening in your body right now that you can't feel or see. Cancer is just the beginning. Processed sugar is like a slow-acting poison that works silently, damaging your body in ways you can't see or feel until it's too late. But what Dr. Chen discovered about the cascade of destruction this food creates will horrify you. First, it systematically destroys your immune system. One study at Loma Linda University found that eating just 100 grams of processed sugar, that's only 2 cans of soda, reduces your white blood cell function by 50% for up to 5 hours. Think about that. For 5 hours after drinking 2 Cokes, your body's natural cancer-fighting army becomes practically useless. You're defenseless. And most Americans consume this much processed sugar before lunch. But here's what's even more disturbing. This immune suppression is cumulative. Every time you eat processed sugar, you're adding to the damage. Dr. Chen's research shows that people who consume processed sugar daily have chronically weakened immune systems. Their white blood cells are essentially in a permanent state of exhaustion, unable to identify and destroy cancer cells effectively. Second, it accelerates aging at the cellular level in a way that's truly frightening. You've heard of telomeres. They're like protective caps on your chromosomes that determine how long your cells can live and repair themselves. Every time your cells divide, these telomeres get a little shorter. When they're gone, your cells die. Processed sugar shortens telomeres at an alarming rate. One study found that drinking 120-ounce soda daily ages your cells by 4.6 years. That's not a typo. 4.6 years of cellular aging from one daily soda. It's why people who consume a lot of processed sugar often look decades older than their actual age. Their cells are literally dying faster. Third, it systematically damages every major organ in your body. Your liver, trying desperately to process this flood of sugar, begins storing it as fat. Fatty liver disease, once seen only in alcoholics, now affects 30% of adults and is becoming common in children. Your pancreas, overworked from producing massive amounts of insulin, begins to fail. Eventually, it just gives up. This is why type 2 diabetes rates have skyrocketed. But your brain suffers the most. Processed sugar creates inflammation in brain tissue, leading to memory problems, depression, and dramatically increased risk of dementia. Dr. Chen's latest research shows that people who consume high amounts of processed sugar have brains that age 10 years faster than normal. Here's where I need to be completely vulnerable with you, because this hits close to home. 5 years ago, I was a complete sugar addict. I'm talking donuts for breakfast, soda with lunch, ice cream every night while watching TV. I convinced myself I was naturally thin, so it didn't matter. I was young, I felt fine, my blood work was normal. What could go wrong? Then my father was diagnosed with colon cancer at 58. This was a man who never smoked, rarely drank, exercised regularly. The doctors couldn't explain why his cancer was so aggressive, why it had spread so quickly. The oncologist kept saying, "This doesn't make sense. You should have caught this earlier based on your lifestyle." That's when I started questioning everything. I dove into research, discovered Dr. Chen's work, and realized something horrifying. My dad had been eating healthy granola bars every morning for 15 years. Quaker Oats chewy bars. They seemed harmless, even nutritious. Each bar contained 18 grams of processed sugar. For 15 years, every single morning, he was feeding potential cancer cells. But here's what really scared me. I was following the exact same path. Different food, same poison. I calculated my daily processed sugar intake and nearly fell over. Between my morning coffee drinks, afternoon sodas, and evening desserts, I was consuming over 200 grams daily. I was essentially marinating my cells in cancer fuel. The wake-up call came when I found out that processed sugar does something truly sinister. It damages your DNA. Every time you consume it, free radicals attack your cellular structure, creating mutations. These mutations accumulate over time like tiny time bombs, creating the perfect conditions for cancer to develop. Dr. Chen's research shows that people with high processed sugar intake have 300% more DNA damage than those who avoid it. But here's the most frightening discovery that will change how you think about your body forever. Processed sugar creates chronic inflammation throughout your entire system. This isn't the normal, healthy inflammation that helps you heal from injuries. This is destructive, persistent inflammation that's like rolling out a red carpet for cancer cells. Chronic inflammation does 3 terrifying things. First, it helps cancer cells hide from your immune system by creating a smoke screen of inflammatory chemicals. Second, it provides cancer cells with growth factors that make them multiply faster. Third, it creates new blood vessels that feed tumors, helping them spread to new organs. Remember Jake, our marathon runner? Here's the part 1 promise that could save your life. After his diagnosis, Jake worked with Dr. Chen's team and discovered something remarkable about timing. Cancer cells are most active between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. when your body should be repairing itself. But if you eat processed sugar after 6 p.m., your insulin stays elevated all night long, feeding cancer cells during their most active hours. Jake realized he'd been drinking his last energy drink around 7 p.m. after evening workouts. For 3 years, he had unknowingly been providing cancer cells with an all-night buffet during their peak feeding time. But you don't have to make the same mistakes Jake and my family made. There's hope, and the solution is simpler than you think. Let me show you 3 powerful alternatives that don't just replace processed sugar. They literally help your body hunt down and destroy cancer cells. And the first one has been used by Olympic athletes for decades to enhance performance while starving cancer cells. Here are 3 delicious alternatives that don't just replace processed sugar. They actually help your body fight cancer. And I'm going to share some insider secrets that most nutritionists don't even know. Replacement number 1. Raw Manuka honey. Not just any honey. I'm talking about raw, unprocessed Manuka honey from New Zealand. This isn't just a sweetener. It's medicine in a jar. It contains powerful antioxidants called flavonoids that literally hunt down cancer cells and destroy them. But here's what makes Manuka honey extraordinary. It contains a compound called methylglyoxal that's 10 times more potent than regular honey. Olympic athletes have been using Manuka honey as their secret weapon for decades. It provides sustained energy without the insulin spike that feeds cancer cells. One study at the University of Auckland showed that people who ate a tablespoon of Manuka honey daily had 40% lower inflammation markers and significantly improved immune function within just 2 weeks. The taste is incredible. It's naturally sweet with complex, almost caramel-like flavors you'll never get from processed sugar. You can find authentic Manuka honey at health food stores, but here's the insider secret. Look for a UMF, unique Manuka factor, rating of at least 15+. That's the minimum potency needed for therapeutic benefits. Yes, it's more expensive than regular honey, but think of it as edible medicine that tastes amazing. Replacement number 2, medjool dates. These aren't just any dates. Medjool dates are like nature's candy, but they're packed with fiber, potassium, and cancer-fighting antioxidants. Unlike processed sugar that spikes your blood sugar like a rocket, dates release energy slowly and steadily. Your body stays satisfied for hours, and your insulin levels remain stable. Here's what's fascinating about dates. They contain compounds called phenolic acids that have been shown to actually prevent DNA damage, the opposite of what processed sugar does. A study in the Journal of Nutritional Science found that people who ate 3 dates daily had significantly lower oxidative stress markers and improved cellular repair mechanisms. They're incredibly versatile and satisfying. You can stuff them with almond butter for a quick snack, blend them into smoothies for natural sweetness, chop them up in oatmeal, or even use them to make healthier desserts. I make date energy balls for my kids that taste like candy, but actually nourish their bodies. The texture is chewy and satisfying in a way that processed sugar never is. You'll actually feel full and satisfied instead of craving more. Replacement number 3, pure stevia leaf extract. This is the ultimate game changer, but you need to know the secret that 90% of people get wrong. Pure stevia extract is 200 times sweeter than sugar, has 0 calories, and actually helps regulate blood sugar. But here's the kicker. Studies show that real stevia extract can help damaged cells repair themselves and even activate genes that suppress tumor growth. The problem is that most stevia products in grocery stores are complete frauds. They're mixed with erythritol, dextrose, or other sugar alcohols that can actually cause digestive issues and still spike your blood sugar. The key is getting pure stevia leaf extract that lists only one ingredient, stevia leaf extract or stevia rebaudiana. I recommend brands like Sweet Leaf or Pure that offer pure liquid stevia. Start with just a tiny drop. Literally 1 drop can sweeten an entire cup of coffee. Too much and it becomes bitter. But when you use it correctly, it provides clean sweetness without any of the cancer-feeding effects of processed sugar. And here's a bonus secret that Dr. Chen shared with me. Ceylon cinnamon, not regular cassia cinnamon, naturally makes everything taste sweeter while actually lowering blood sugar levels. A half teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon can reduce blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. Sprinkle it on everything: coffee, smoothies, fruit, even savory dishes. The synergy secret: here's what nobody tells you about these replacements. They work even better when combined. My personal morning ritual is coffee sweetened with a drop of stevia, a teaspoon of Manuka honey, and a sprinkle of Ceylon cinnamon. The result? Sustained energy for hours, stable blood sugar, and I'm actually feeding my immune system instead of cancer cells. But here's what nobody tells you about making this switch successfully. There's a specific order you need to follow, and one crucial mistake that sends 80% of people right back to processed sugar within 2 weeks. The food industry doesn't want you to know this, but there's actually a withdrawal period, and if you don't handle it correctly, you'll fail. I'm about to share the exact strategy that ensures success. Making the switch from processed sugar isn't just about willpower, it's about strategy. And I'm going to share the exact method that has a 90% success rate compared to the 10% success rate of people who try to quit cold turkey. Most people fail because they try to eliminate all processed sugar at once. Your brain literally goes into withdrawal, creating intense cravings that are almost impossible to resist. The 3-2-1 method prevents this by working with your brain's chemistry, not against it. Week 1. Replace only your morning sugar sources. Coffee, cereal, breakfast pastries. Switch these to natural alternatives. Your brain gets used to the new taste while still getting some processed sugar later in the day. Week 2. Tackle lunch and afternoon snacks. By now, your taste buds are adapting, and the cravings are manageable. Week 3. Handle dinner and evening treats. This is when you're fully transitioning to a cancer-starving lifestyle. Here's what food companies don't want you to know. Processed sugar hides behind 61 different names. I'm going to teach you the insider tricks to spot them instantly. First, shop the perimeter of the store. Fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, and dairy live here. The center aisles are where processed food hide, designed to confuse and trap you. Second, use the 5-gram rule. If any packaged food has more than 5 grams of added sugar per serving, put back immediately. Your body can only safely process about 25 grams of added sugar per day total. Most Americans consume 150 grams, 6 times the safe limit. Third, learn the secret sugar names. Anything ending in ose is sugar: fructose, sucrose, dextrose, maltose. Also avoid corn syrup, rice syrup, cane juice, fruit concentrate, and anything with natural flavors. That's often code for hidden sugar. Here's a shocking fact that will change how you shop forever. If sugar, in any form, is listed in the first 3 ingredients, that food is basically candy pretending to be healthy. The ingredients are listed by weight, so if sugar is in the top 3, that product is primarily sugar with some food mixed in. Want to know if you're already addicted to processed sugar? Try this simple test. Can you go 24 hours without any processed sugar without experiencing headaches, mood swings, or intense cravings? If the answer is no, you're chemically dependent. But don't panic. This is reversible, and I'm about to show you how. When a sugar craving hits, and it will, here's your action plan. First, drink a large glass of water with a pinch of sea salt. Dehydration often masquerades as sugar cravings. Second, eat a piece of fruit with some nuts or seeds. The natural sugars satisfy the craving, while the protein and fat stabilize your blood sugar. Third, wait 20 minutes. If you still want something sweet, have one mid-joule date with almond butter. This protocol works because it addresses the real issue, your blood sugar instability, rather than just trying to resist the craving through willpower. Morning coffee upgrade. Instead of sugar or artificial sweeteners, try this. Add 1 drop of liquid stevia, half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, and a tablespoon of coconut cream. This combination tastes like a luxury coffee drink, but actually stabilizes your blood sugar for hours. Afternoon energy smoothie. Blend 1 cup of berries, half a banana, 2 mid-joule dates, pitted, a handful of spinach, and unsweetened almond milk. The berries provide antioxidants that fight cancer, the dates give sustained energy, and you won't even taste the spinach. My kids call this their superhero smoothie and beg for it every day. Evening treat. Take 3 mid-joule dates, remove the pits, stuff them with raw almond butter, and roll them in unsweetened cocoa powder. This tastes like a gourmet chocolate truffle, but actually fights cancer cells while you sleep. Here's something that will shock you. Many foods marketed as healthy are actually worse than candy. Vitamin water has 32 grams of sugar. Natural granola bars often contain 15 to 20 grams. Even organic pasta sauce can have 12 grams per serving. The most deceptive foods? Smoothies from chain stores. A large green smoothie from popular chains can contain over 60 grams of processed sugar, more than 2 cans of Coke. They add fruit juices, syrups, and natural sweeteners that are all forms of processed sugar. Here's what you need to do in the next 24 hours to start reversing years of cancer-feeding habits. 1. Clean out your pantry. Throw away or donate anything with more than 5 grams of added sugar. Yes, this might be expensive, but cancer treatment costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. 2. Stock up on the 3 replacement foods: Manuka honey, mid-joule dates, and pure stevia extract. Having these ready prevents you from reaching for processed alternatives when cravings hit. 3. Prepare your support system. Tell your family and friends what you're doing. Ask them not to offer you sugary foods and to support your new choices. But here's the most important part. What happens in your body in the next 24 to 72 hours will determine whether you succeed or fail. Your body is about to go through a detox process, and if you don't know what to expect, you might think something is wrong and give up. Let me prepare you for this transformation and share the timeline of healing that will motivate you through any difficult moments. And dairy? The dangerous processed foods lurk in the center aisles. Second, become a label detective. Processed sugar hides behind 56 different names. Watch out for anything ending in ose, fructose, sucrose, dextrose. Also avoid corn syrup, rice syrup, and anything with cane in the name. Here's a shocking fact. If sugar is listed in the first 3 ingredients, that food is basically candy pretending to be healthy. Third, use the 5-gram rule. If a packaged food has more than 5 grams of added sugar per serving, put it back. Your body can only process about 25 grams of added sugar per day safely. Most people eat 150 grams. Now here's the strategy nobody talks about, the 3-2-1 method. Week 1, replace just your morning sugar, coffee, cereal. Week 2, tackle lunch. Week 3, handle dinner and snacks. This prevents the overwhelming cravings that make most people quit. Quick recipe. Here's my go-to morning smoothie that tastes like dessert but fights cancer. Blend 1 cup of berries, half a banana, a tablespoon of raw honey, a handful of spinach, and unsweetened almond milk. The berries are loaded with antioxidants. The honey provides natural sweetness, and you won't even taste the spinach. My kids beg for this smoothie every morning. Pro tip, when you're craving something sweet, eat a piece of fruit first, then wait 20 minutes. The natural sugars will satisfy your craving, and the fiber will keep you full. This simple trick helps break the processed sugar addiction cycle. But here's the most important part. What you do in the next 24 hours could determine whether you break free from this cycle or remain trapped forever. Let me explain why timing is everything. Let's recap what we've uncovered today, and I want you to really absorb this because your life literally depends on understanding these facts. Processed sugar isn't just bad for you. It's systematically destroying your body from the inside out. Dr. Chen's groundbreaking research proves that this common food is literally feeding cancer cells, making them grow 40% faster and spread more aggressively. It's suppressing your immune system for hours after each consumption, aging your cells at an accelerated rate, and damaging your DNA with every bite. Remember Jake, our marathon runner? 6 months after completely eliminating processed sugar and energy drinks, his latest PET scan showed something his oncologist called unprecedented. His cancer markers had dropped by 78%, and several tumors had actually shrunk. His oncologist, Dr. Martinez, told him, "In 20 years of practice, I've never seen stage 3 pancreatic cancer respond this dramatically to dietary changes alone. My own father." After we eliminated those healthy granola bars and all hidden processed sugars from his diet, his follow-up scans have been completely clear for 3 years running. His oncologist now refers other patients to learn about the role of processed sugar in cancer progression. But here's what I need you to understand. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, and your body is going to go through specific phases of healing. Let me prepare you for what's coming so you don't give up when things get temporarily difficult. Hours 1 to 12, you might feel fine, even energized. This is the honeymoon phase. Hours 12 to 24, cravings may intensify. Your brain is realizing its drug supply has been cut off. This is normal. It means the process is working. Hours 24 to 48, this is often the hardest period. You might experience headaches, mood swings, or fatigue. Your body is literally detoxing from sugar addiction. Remember, this temporary discomfort is your body healing itself. Hours 48 to 72, the worst is over. Most people report feeling clearer, more energetic, and noticing that their cravings have significantly decreased. Week 1, your white blood cell function begins to normalize. Your immune system starts recovering its ability to identify and destroy abnormal cells. Week 2 to 4, your insulin sensitivity improves dramatically. Your blood sugar becomes more stable, reducing the feast or famine cycle that cancer cells thrive on. Month 2 to 3, cellular repair mechanisms kick into high gear. Your DNA damage starts reversing as antioxidant levels increase. Month 3 to 6, chronic inflammation levels drop significantly. Your body stops creating the environment that cancer cells love. Month 6 to 12, this is when the magic happens. Your cancer risk begins dropping measurably, and if you have existing cancer, your body becomes much better at fighting it. You have 3 powerful weapons in this fight. Raw manuka honey with its cancer-hunting compounds, medjool dates that actually repair DNA damage, and pure stevia extract that helps regulate your blood sugar while supporting cellular repair. Start with just one. I recommend replacing your morning coffee sugar with a single drop of pure stevia. That's it. Don't try to change everything at once. Here's what you need to understand. Every single day you continue eating processed sugar, you're giving cancer cells exactly what they need to grow stronger, multiply faster, and become more resistant to treatment. But every day without it, you're systematically starving potential cancer cells while strengthening your body's natural defense systems. The choice you make about your next meal, literally the very next thing you put in your mouth, could determine whether cancer gets a foothold in your body or whether your immune system successfully eliminates it before it becomes a problem. I want you to do 3 things in the next hour. First, go to your pantry right now and check 3 products: your breakfast cereal, your salad dressing, and your bread. Read the ingredient lists. I guarantee you'll find hidden processed sugar in at least 2 of them. This isn't about shaming you. It's about opening your eyes to how pervasive this problem is. Second, commit to one small change for tomorrow morning. Just one. Maybe it's drinking your coffee with stevia instead of sugar. Maybe it's eating an apple with almond butter instead of a pastry. Pick one thing and commit to it. Third, calculate your daily processed sugar intake using the food diary method. Write down everything you eat tomorrow and look up the sugar content. Most people are shocked to discover they're consuming 3 to 4 times what they thought. If this video has opened your eyes the way it did mine, I need you to share it with 3 people you care about. Your spouse, your parents, your children, they deserve to know this information too. Think about it. If you can help just one person avoid a cancer diagnosis by sharing this knowledge, haven't you potentially saved a life? Post this video on your social media with a simple message. This information could save your life. 15 minutes that changed everything I thought I knew about cancer prevention. Don't underestimate the power of your influence. Someone in your network needs to see this today. I want you to make a commitment right now, while you're still feeling motivated and informed. Leave a comment below with your personal declaration. It could be as simple as day 1, no more processed sugar, or starting tomorrow, I'm protecting my family from cancer-feeding foods. When you put your commitment in writing, you're 42% more likely to follow through. Plus, your declaration might inspire someone else who's struggling to take action. Here's the bottom line that I need you to remember long after this video ends. You have incredible power over your health destiny. Cancer isn't something that just happens to unlucky people. In many cases, it's the result of daily choices made over years or decades. Every time you choose Manuka honey over processed sugar, you're choosing to starve cancer cells and feed your immune system. Every time you reach for dates instead of candy, you're choosing DNA repair over DNA damage. Every time you use stevia instead of artificial sweeteners, you're choosing cellular health over cellular destruction. The food industry has spent billions of dollars convincing you that you need their products, that life isn't enjoyable without processed sugar, that healthy alternatives don't taste good. They're lying to protect their profits, even if it costs you your life. But now you know the truth. You have the knowledge, the alternatives, and the strategy to break free from this cycle. The only question remaining is, what are you going to do with this information? Your life is precious. Your health is irreplaceable. And your time is limited, not because of age, but because every day you wait to make this change is another day you're potentially feeding the very cells that could destroy you. The choice is yours, and the time is right now. Choose life. Choose health. Choose to starve cancer and feed your future. What will your first step be? Let me know in the comments below. Your journey to a cancer-starving lifestyle starts with your very next meal. Remember, you now have the power to save not just your own life, but the lives of everyone you share this information with. That's an incredible responsibility and an amazing opportunity. Don't waste it.